Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and I make videos about quilting and just my general creative life. And today I'm going to be sharing with you my sister's Quilt As You Go temperature quilt project. So if you're not aware, at the start of the year I started a make along which was making a temperature quilt, which is whereby you make a quilt that has an element that represents the daily high and the daily low of any given year. Me and my sister chose to do this year, 2024, but lots of people have done historic years or years that have some type of sentimental meaning, so that's really nice. And of course, if you're watching this video in the future, you can still join in with the make along, that's absolutely no problem. So I'll leave the link to the original temperature quilt playlist in the description box so that you can watch that. But my sister has chosen to do a Quilt As You Go temperature quilt, so I'll give you an update on what she's done now. Just bear in mind though that when I recorded this I didn't think through what I was wearing, and I was wearing a dress that was quite a similar colour to her quilt, so when I show you the whole quilt you can't see it very well. You'll see in the footage, so let me show you how she's been getting on with that. So here is the progress so far. She's joined one row together, but if you stay tuned to the end of the video, there's some more up-to-date footage where she's joined 3 rows together, so that will be something to look out for at the end. So we can see that she's got a mixture of blues, greens and one black one for a really cold temperature. She's hand stitching the Quilt As You Go squares, and then when she comes to joining them she's doing that with zigzag on the machine, just because she says she felt like she wanted a little bit of more security rather than hand stitching them together, because she might be too worried to use it then. So she's made, I think it is quite wide, I think it's 22 wide, I believe, 22 squares, and that's the join there, so you can hardly see them really with the really busy prints that she's got. My sister enjoys like earth tony colours, and she enjoys fabrics with small prints on them, so as you can see there with that blue, it's really nice detail with the small prints. And these are the blocks that she's got already made up that she needs to hand sew the construction of the Quilt As You Go together, and then I think she does it once a month or so, sits down and joins the rows together. So here are the ones that she's already got stitched. She's using to stitch some like the binding down, she's using some machine embroidery thread that I gave her that I usually recommend in my videos, and you can barely see the stitches, can you? And she's just labelled the dates with some scrap paper and a pin onto each block, just so she doesn't lose track of which block is which and she can keep them in order. So here's a flick through of the ones that she's got pre-made, and in just a moment I'll talk you through her colours for the quilt so that you can see which fabric represents what temperature. I believe the inside is the day temperature and the outside is the night temperature or the low temperature for the day. So there's been quite a few where it's this blue colour at night, so it must have been quite cold consistently. So this is her coldest temperature, I believe that is below -5, and she's only used that once. This is 0 to -4. I think this is 0 to 4 degrees, and it's out of order, so that one's 14 to 19 degrees. This one must be 5 to 10, and this one is 15 to 19. Doesn't make sense actually, I'll have to check that with her. So this is the warmer colours, she's got red for the warmer colours, so it goes from blues, greens, like a yellowy colour, and then into the reds for the really hot colours. She decided not to do a patterned one for the most hottest temperature, and it's unsure whether we'll get over 35 degrees or so, but she decided to just do it fire red just to represent. And there she was, just basing some of the shapes. And this is a sewing box that I bought her for Christmas from the charity shop, and she's using it just to keep all of her threads ready for sewing each block. And she just keeps this by the sofa so that when she feels that she wants to on an evening, she she can just pick it up and sew a block. And then in the underneath, this is where she's keeping her pre-made shapes and her wadding squares. She's using a cotton wadding and she's just pre-cutting it quite a bit in advance, because I think her least favourite part, like me, of quilting is the cutting, so she tries to do all of that just in one go. And here she is for a video cameo.
Hi guys, welcome to the unprofessional corner of Stitch with Rachel. I'm your host, Rachel's sister, and this is row 3 of my temperature quilt. So these all need to be stitched together. They're each labelled lovingly with the date that they represent, not the day that I made them, because I slipped 2 weeks behind and then had to frantically sew to catch up. But hey, lots of colours there the same. Oh, lots indeed. So stick around. I'm going to stitch them all together and give you a little tour of my temperature quilt. First of all, this is my sewing machine, Marjorie. Isn't she a beaut? With all the stickers all over her. Anyway, let's start sewing. So all I do to attach these is change them to a zigzag stitch. I leave the length and the width exactly the same. So I try and line these two up here together, like so, and then I just pop them under. I could pin them, but also I don't. And then just go for it. So what I do here is some back stitching, just to secure those. Okay, got another one in there. No, maybe not. Secure those down. A few more back stitches. And then we just sew them off the end. It will look a little something like this. So they're secured over the two with a zigzag, and then you turn it over. Cute. Now you see these two are not quite the same length, so we'll just shimmy some, we'll shimmy that one over, I think. We'll just bash them together, you know.
So I really hope you enjoyed seeing those snippets of my sister's quilt, and I will of course update you regularly throughout the year with my quilt progress and also hers. So thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy stitching. Bye.